Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Kris here, the Real Estate Blitz, and today we're going to be talking about should you reduce your commission to get a deal. And I'm just going to start off with letting you know some people are going to hate this. A lot of people are going to hate this, and it's not going to give you the answer that you really want. And that's what's kind of cool about this. This is my YouTube channel, and I'm giving my opinions. I say it over and over and over. I'm not a coach. I'm not a guru. I'm not selling you on any products. I'm just some guy that's found success. And for some reason, I just keep doing a whole bunch of freaking videos, posting up on YouTube, and people keep watching them. So here I am. Somebody hit me up, and they says, should I lower my commission from 6%? What are your thoughts? So I started telling them my thoughts, and immediately they go into a rejection mode and said, well, I heard from X guru that I should never do that. And I was like, well, okay, do you want my opinion or not? For one. For two, is that guru paying your bills? If the answer is no, oh wait, you're paying that guru, aren't you? You're paying them. You're paying them to tell you a bunch of stuff. Okay, how is it working out for you? So that's 1, 2, and then 3. How is that working out for you? So how many appointments have gone on? Well, I went on 5. How many deals have you gotten? Well, I've gotten 1. Okay, so I will say again, how is that working out for you? So I'm going to bust your bubble. Here's my view on commissions. I always want to do 6% because I believe I add a lot of value. I believe with what we produce, you're going to make more money working with us. We're going to sell it faster, and we add a lot of products. I mean, between how we farm clients for each of our individual homes, how we do video content, we do a lot of photo content, we do 3D content, we do a lot of different stuff. But I came to a realization, especially when we moved into a new market recently, that in that market the expectation is 5%. It's not 6%. So let me back up for a second. Our old broker that we used to have would not allow us to take less than 6% for any listing. If we took a listing, if it was less than 6%, they said, look, we're going to take the full 6%, and whatever you're left with is your fault. And I'm not a fan of that. I think that's a real asshole thing to do. Because that broker wasn't in that listing appointment and doesn't know the present situation. And that's why we left that broker, because he's an asshole. And it's funny because if you watch these videos, you realize I don't cuss much, but that guy is an asshole. So I'm going to leave that there. This is how I look at it. Time, money, and energy. Time, money, and energy. I just took a listing the other day, and literally, this home is no energy. This home, I'm not going to have to spend any more than maybe $180 to take photos of the home and just put it on the MLS. I'm not going to have to do any pre-marketing. I'm not going to have to do any video work. I'm not going to have to do anything. And that house will sell in 12 hours. The client knows that. The client knows it's a great house. The client knows that it's going to sell. And the client is like, look, I could call Redfin. And the client is 100% right. They could call Redfin. They're going to sell the house with or without me. Now, I'm going to give them better service than Redfin. We're going to provide a better quality, and we're well known, and we have our own clients right now on the buy side that love a house like that. They want to buy it. So I have to view it from this standpoint. A, it's zero energy, other than paperwork, but of course I have transaction coordinators, etc. B, I'm investing like no money. It's a guaranteed sale. Okay, of a home that's almost $500,000. So I'm investing $180 for really just, I spend, maybe total, I'll spend maybe an hour or 2 at the listing appointment, and then some paperwork that I don't really do because I got somebody else doing it for $300 per transaction. So I'm into it, $480 for that deal total. So it's no energy, it's no real investment. And total time, now the time is my choice. The client is extremely easy to work with, very reasonable. So I'm not spending time on the client. It's a choice. I know with that home and me listing it, I know I'm going to get probably 2 more deals off of that home. I'm going to get a buyer or 2 buyers. We're going to create so much traction and so much action. I'm going to capture a ton of buyers with the mega open house that we're going to do, which we usually do from Friday to Sunday. I'm going to get probably 80 to 100 people walk through that house, and we're going to capture all of them. We're going to capture as many as possible. Most of them will not be working with an agent. They go right into our database, try to roll them into a different property. I also know that that house is going to put me into the 10-10-20 database, which I've talked about in previous videos, where now I'm going to be farming that whole neighborhood, and now they're on my farm forever. I'm always going to stay in touch with them. I'm going to call the neighbors. I'm going to circle prospect if you've watched some of the open house videos I've done. And I'm going to beat up that neighborhood. I'm going to get another listing. So the question is, what's going to be reasonable? Well, no time, no money. It's $580,000, I think, is what it is, or $480,000. Excuse me, $480,000. If it's 1% to me, that's roughly $4,800 and some change. It's more than that. Dollars for doing really no work and investing no money. So I'm investing $480, I think, is what we came up with, and I'm making $4,800 off of the transaction. If I went 1%, if I go 1.5%, well, that adjusts, right? That adjusts. But the question is, do I have to force her to be at 6% or tell them to walk because I'm adding so much value? What value are you adding? What value are you adding to a property like that? If you're lying to yourself, you're going to say a whole bunch of stuff that's not true. You're adding no value to that property. So that's why I think it's almost a myth to say 6% always. I think that's a myth. Look, there's some homes where you're not investing much, you're not giving a ton of energy, you're not giving time, and the house is going to sell itself. So why should you gouge them? I view it as gouging. I think it's gouging. I think it's not fair. In fact, I did a listing the other day. I did it at 5% because it's no energy, no time. I'm connecting them. I'm making money in a different way off of that property. We're doing the renovate to sell, so I'll be investing some cash with the through the LLC with the contractor, and it's pretty fantastic. So I get a little bit of a return. We're going to sell a home that's going to get me a ton of business, and actually this client is giving me 3 homes to list. 3 homes to list. So again, well, I'm adding all this stuff. What are you adding? You can't just, I don't think it's fair to just blanket say I'll only do 6% or screw them. I don't think that's fair. I think you have to take it case by case. I think you have to really look at it from the perspective of time, energy, and money. How much are you investing into it? How much energy are you going to have to put into this thing? And how much time is going to eat? Because my time is worth money. My energy is worth money. And my money is worth money, right? If I'm giving them, and that's why for me personally, I have kind of like an a la carte menu. And depending on what they want, it costs more money. It just does. Well, I want all of it. Okay, now I'm confused. You want all of it, but you want it at 4.5% or 5%. The answer is no. Now I'm going to draw a line and say, look, that doesn't make any sense. It's not a good investment on my part. This is a business. I have to feed my kids. But if you are good with me doing XXX, because that's why I say, okay, so where do we pull from? I know Tom Ferry teaches something a little bit different. He says, you're going to pay me this, so what aren't you going to pay the buyer's agent? Again, there's a time to do that. There's a time not to do that, in my opinion. Easy homes that are going to get me more business, that really are taking no energy, time, or investment on my part, I am not going to gouge people. I think it's gouging when you do that. We wouldn't like it if, people talk about it all the time. The iPhone X is only worth blah, blah. And I'm not saying and to me, it's not devaluing who you are. It really isn't. It's basically trying to be honest with each individual client and say, you're hiring me to do something, and if I don't have to put in a whole lot to do that, it's, so here's the thing. We're going to wash your car. Well, if you're washing a semi-truck, I think it's going to cost more than washing a Prius. True? Is that true? Will you agree? Will you agree with me that if you drop off a vehicle to get washed at a really good hand car wash, that they're going to charge you more to wash a semi-truck than they would, or a school bus, than they would for a Prius or a Honda? Why? Time, energy, and money. It costs so much money for the product, for the water, for the location, for the overhead, the staff, how much it takes, how long does it take them? So if they charge you $50 to do the semi and $50 to do the Prius guy's getting gouged. The Prius guy's getting taken for a freaking ride. And that's crap. It's crap. And that's the way I look at it. So, again, I started off with saying I'm not a guru. I'm not a person that's going to always say what really makes you feel good to go out there and do things, because I'm not selling you anything. I'm just a guy that actually has a successful business. I happen to be a real estate agent that runs a real estate team, and we do really freaking well. And it's because outside of the guru crap that a lot of people are always consuming, There's that truth, and then there's the real truth when you're actually in the pits doing work. So that's my view today. Appreciate you watching. If you agree with me, great. If you disagree with me, fantastic. I would love to see your comments. Tell me why. Tell me why you think I'm wrong. I would love to be empathetic and really listen to what you have to say, and maybe change my mind, change the way I would love to have my mind changed, and I think that's fantastic. So do that for me. Leave comments. Check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Facebook. And as always, I will see you tomorrow.